We got a report from The Intercept yesterday that there is a major casualty cover-up by Pete Hegseth and the U.S. Army. The Intercept reports that almost 750 U.S. troops have been killed or wounded since the start of the war, and the U.S. Army is covering it up big time. I know we laugh and we joke on this channel about like, oh, you know, they said that they wanted to do a regime change operation in this war, and it's failing so miserably because they replace Khamenei with Ayatollah Khamenei, his son. Like, I know we joke about that, but, you know, we do have to recognize it is true. This war has succeeded in a regime change. They have technically, right? I mean, technically, if you break it down, they did succeed in regime change. It just kind of appears as though that it was a regime change in the wrong country. Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump are at war with the U.S. Army right now. There is a full-blown regime change going on at home in the United States. Not happening in Iran. It's happening here. Happening at the U.S. Pentagon. We started off the April 4th with Pete Hegseth reportedly asking U.S. Army Chief of Staff Randy George to step down and immediately retire. Now, obviously, very clear what this is all about. This war's not going well. The senior brass in the U.S. Army do not support what's happening. They understand it's only going to get worse from here. Maybe they have, you know, moral qualms with this war as well. That's possible. But I think really what we know here is that this is about to get really ugly. And this could mean several things. It could mean that they either know this war is going to go on for an extended period of time, because why else would they sacrifice their entire military career, retire, and they're in these positions of power? Or they could be planning a U.S. invasion, which personally I think is going to happen very soon. I mean, we know that the 11th Marine Expeditionary Group has arrived in the region, the USS Tripoli, and it's the vessels, accompanying vessels, they've arrived in the region. We know that the 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit is en route. We know that 3,500 from the 82nd Airborne Division are also en route. And apparently thousands more of U.S. troops are also going to be deployed to the region. Now, even worse, you know, this could mean something like tactical nukes. It could mean a major escalation on Iranian infrastructure, energy infrastructure, desalination plants, things like this, which we know is going to invite a mega response from the Iranians against the Gulf states, which is going to have catastrophic impacts on the global economy. But U.S. Army Chief of Staff Randy George was not the only person that faced the ire of Pete Hegseth. We then saw that Pete Hegseth fired two more generals, David Hodney and William Green Jr. This is according to Reuters. That's why I think 100% we're going to get a ground invasion attempt from the U.S. Army. Now, you can see here, both of these men are very decorated veterans of the U.S. Army, and they are some of our most senior military brass that we have in the entire country. Then we got this one. This is a big one. The Trump administration is apparently considering to fire, may have already done this, U.S. Army Secretary Dan Driscoll, according to The Atlantic. We witnessed the firing of several senior military brass amid Trump's push to invade Iran, and there were even more generals that got fired yesterday as well. Now, it is true, there were reports, and it has been confirmed, that Pete Hegseth unfollowed U.S. Army Secretary Dan Driscoll on Twitter. Make of that what you will. I think it's pretty damn clear that what we're seeing is the complete fracturing of the U.S. Army and the Pentagon senior staff, the Secretary of War, and Trump himself, okay? So just to round up here, we started off the day with Army Secretary Dan Driscoll, Chief of Staff of the Army Randy George, Army generals, two top generals, and even several other generals in senior military brass, as you can see in these two photos, getting removed from their positions. All gone. The most successful U.S. regime change operation in history. Unfortunately for the warmongers in the U.S., they just, mistakenly had a regime change in the wrong country. Okay, the regime change was really against the Trump administration. And that's why Iran is now putting out these masterclass troll videos against Pete Hegseth.
Yo, Pete Hegseth, this one's specially for you. You punk-ass rapist, bitch. Straight from Iran. Get playing with that cap ink on your arm. Think you a crusader? Nah, just a drunk infidel in the fake uniform. Chain to kill all Muslims. Wasted in the hotel lobby. Sexual assault settlement in Monterey. Blocked the door, took the phone, paid her off quiet, cause Me Too was on. Now you secretary? What a joke, bro.
The Iranians know too much. They literally hack everyone's emails. They hacked Kash Patel's emails. FBI director, they know too much.
Cheated on wives, multiple affairs, kids in the mix, family man, hell no.
Imagine you're the U.S. Secretary of War and it gets leaked that you had an affair with a prostitute in Monterey, California, cheating on your wife and paid off the prostitute via a Lego meme video posted by the Iranian government.
Handsy with women at Fox, drunk on the job. Your own team say, yo, this dude toxic. Couldn't even guard Biden's inauguration. Your own military said next. Book called American Crusade, dreaming holy war, but reality check. You just a failed vet, turned TV clown, slipping on your own mess. Trump picked you cause you kissed the ring, but wait, funny part ain't coming. For that secretary gig, Trump and started giving blue jobs back in the day. Real talk, you out here blowing for access, but he the original BJ queen. You thought I missed those max.
It's the Iranian mosaic meme warfare defense capabilities. What can I say?
Worshiping Epstein Island crew, the ones who hurt the kids. Revenge for every American soul. You and Trump's dirty crew oppressed and dead. We taking payback for the girls you broke, the wives you broke, the Muslims you hate. Every victim screaming in the dark.
You get the idea. They're just cooking him. They're cooking him, and he's literally having a crisis in the U.S. Army. And to top it all off, we got a report from The Intercept yesterday that there is a major casualty cover-up by Pete Hegseth in the U.S. Army. The Intercept reports that almost 750 U.S. troops have been killed or wounded since the start of the war, and the U.S. Army is covering it up big time. Sources close to the Trump administration told the New York Post U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is going after people because he is worried about being fired, like Kash Patel and Pam Bondi, I guess. Kash Patel looks like he's on his way out. Pam Bondi got fired yesterday. Hegseth is very concerned about being fired, and he knows the U.S. Army Secretary Driscoll is one of the top contenders to succeed him. So what Pete has been doing is taking anyone he perceives to be close with Driscoll and going after them, the source said. Trump acknowledges Iran's strength. He said, "We are now engaged in a military operation with one of the strongest countries in the world." Maybe the real war, President Trump, is the war at home. Maybe the real war is against Americans who feel as though this is a war that the U.S. should not be waging. This is a war that is only going to end in chaos, crisis, and collapse. And maybe, people would be a lot more happy with you if you just put an end to it. Honestly, if Trump just came out today and said, I accept defeat, if he said those exact words, I accept defeat, I don't, maybe he says, I don't regret doing what I did, but I accept defeat. They clearly got us. I'd be like, okay, I can at least respect him bowing out and admitting defeat. I'd at least kind of respect that a little bit. I think most people would, but we're not going to get that. 750 U.S. troop casualties thus far, covering it up, and the U.S. Army is in a free fall. Before you leave, I want to say thank you for the support, because after 2 years of being banned, we are finally back home on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe to our channel and also join as a member on our channel using the link at the top of the description. I rely on the generous support of viewers like yourself to get the truth out to as many people as possible. You can also support the show on Locals or Give Sin Go. The mainstream media and the powers that be are never going to stop attacking us for bringing the truth to as many people as we do. Thank you so much for your support.